Battered. Absolutely battered. Hello everybody, welcome back to a One Leeds review. Walking back from Ellen Road, shout out to my man Joe Stokes, who I was just with there, and his lovely dad and his nice mates there down in the south stand. What an experience, what a time. Rarely get to Ellen Road anymore, unfortunately, but that was fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and listen, got a big Irish background, my mother's Irish, and maybe I'm the lucky charm, that's what I'm saying, because that was fantastic. Dominant, absolutely dominant, easy, and to say they're second in the league when we've played them, listen, they had a good 45 minutes against us at Portman Road. I'd say maybe 35, 40 minutes against us at Ellen Road, but aside from that, tripe, absolutely tripe against us. And this is what I mean, they play good teams in this division and they're going to struggle. They're really, really going to struggle. I think they've got quality players, Connor Chaplin, Wes Burns, Broadhead, but today showed for me that our players, when you're looking at Somerville, I was looking at them and I thought to myself, maybe at points you're overrating them. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, are our players that good? But it showed today how much better they are individually than that Ipswich side. Listen, they're overperforming their XG, they're overperforming week in, week out, that Ipswich side. But overall, Leeds are just, I mean, that's 8 goals. 8 goals. I mean, have you ever heard of anything like that? A team in third, a team in the playoff positions, scoring 8 goals past the team in second who are flying. Listen, if this division was better than what it is, we'd be closer. And now we're looking at Leicester to go there and beat them. And it's more than achievable. They were nothing today. Absolutely nothing. With the greatest respect, they've done a great job in terms of getting to where they are, but they're not that good. They're not that good. And you know, in the preview I was talking about how McKenna's done such a good job, and he has. He's done really, really well. But at the end of the day, it's Leeds. It's Leeds' problem. Us not being able to be consistent. Getting 1 point in 6 is not good enough against Coventry and Sunderland. It's really not. And when you think about it overall, you know, when Ipswich are able to pick up these points, you know, against these average sides, Ipswich are picking up point after point after point. The reason behind that is they've just been more consistent than we are. The start of the season killed us, but I'm not having that as an excuse. At the end of the day, we are a much better team than they are. And they can't compete with us. As I keep saying, 8 goals in 2 games. And that game right there there was one Premier League side and there was genuinely one Championship side. And that was them. Leif Davis quiet in the game, gave away a penalty, Stonewaller, and then an own goal. Great interpretation from Leeds United for the first one. Strout did really well. Thought him and Rodon were excellent today. Archie was superb. Jed Spence, can we have a bit of respect on his name, please? I'm sick of hearing Leeds fans calling him lazy. I don't know what they're talking about. The guy covered mass amount of ground again. But the midfield were superb. Kamara, Ampadu, I thought he had his best game in a while. And then the front four were just scintillating, absolutely scintillating. But I genuinely didn't feel any threat from them whatsoever. And I don't think it was an off game because, listen, we had a time against them lot in the first game and they weren't at it for about 30 minutes and we tore them apart, and then we sat back at Portman Road. And listen, when you're doing that, you're obviously inviting pressure, you're inviting problems, you know, for the opposition, for yourselves really. So listen, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. From back to front, Leeds were superb, really, really good. And yeah, I think going forward now, we've just got to think to ourselves, if we're a little bit more consistent, we're more than good enough to get promoted. You're hoping Leicester are going to be able to do something. You're begging Leicester are going to be able to do something against Ipswich. But listen, if they do that, Leeds have got to go to Preston. I believe it is. they've got to go to Preston and they've got to win. No more draws, no more sort of taking games a little bit slack, which I don't know, maybe we are doing, maybe we are being a little bit complacent when it comes to it. Maybe we've been a little bit, oh yeah, we'll win this game, and it's been a bit of an easy run. You know, we need to go into a lot of these games thinking, you know, we're going to be up for it like we're up for it today. When we've been up for it, we've been brilliant. You know, as I say, that 20-30 minute spell against Ipswich at Portman Road, they couldn't handle it. Leicester were by far the better team at the King Power. Ellen Road here against Ipswich, absolutely battered them. They were so average. I couldn't believe it. And to say this, everyone's turning around thinking, how are they second? It's because Leeds just simply, in some of these games, are just too inconsistent. And I do feel we are complacent. I do feel Farke's got it wrong when it comes to proactiveness of substitutes. And you're watching that game today, and honestly, you're buzzing, but you're also frustrated because, and I felt that a lot from the crowd, it's like, how the hell are this lot 7 points clear of us? How? You know, like I've just said, 8 goals, I should say, in 2 games against them. Beat them home and away, done the double. And, you know, if it wasn't for one 35 minute spell where we just sat back in that first leg, sat back and let them come on to us, like we've seen with Leeds so many times. They don't touch us and we're far away. I mean, there you've got Rutter hitting the woodwork, you've got Perot smacking the bar. You know, overall it's a dominating performance, a dominant performance from the Whites, and you know, it's at points it was just blistering. They should have had numerous yellow cards. Sam Morsey once again being an absolute you-know-what house that he is. Nathan Broadhead, there's an argument he could have been red carded after that studs challenge on Archie Gray. And I felt for a period of time they lost their heads. Luongo was picking up foul after foul, and Leeds was too quick, too incisive, too clinical. And what I called for at the start of the game was pace in and around this Ipswich side, and it came. You know, Dan James was fantastic in that first half. Leif Davis, he couldn't get forward because Dan's threat in behind was so imminent and prominent, couldn't handle it. And honestly, the substitutes were more proactive. It's easier because you're winning the game, but the substitutes were better. Gruev came on, looked silky, thought he looked good, looked strong. Anthony, not in the squad again, by the way, everybody. That's him gone for me, and that's us getting Sinistera back. Presumably, Cine will probably be going back on loan somewhere, but yeah, that's us getting Cine back. There's no way he's staying at Leeds after that. Two times not in the squad, on the bounce, heading up to January. He's leaving for me. But overall, buzzing, absolutely buzzing, ecstatic, brilliant from Leeds. And I expected it today. I think we all thought it'd be a tough game. I do believe that. Everybody thought it'd be a tough game, but at the same time, everybody thought, you know, I think, you know, we spoke on Generation Leeds, we spoke on a couple of fixtures, a couple of previews, I should say, before this with Brownie and myself, and we all thought it'd be a win. But that was emphatic, dominant, easy. Ole in the 60th minute, and as I say, it should have been 6, but down at Portman Road once again, in that spell where Leeds were dominating, in that spell where Leeds were getting goal after goal after goal, should have been 6. You know, we missed gilt-edged chances down there. Our XG was far superior to theirs in the first half. And overall, a statement performance, something we've all wanted, and we need our players to get up for this more often, because that is what they've got in the locker. That sort of style of performance, that aggression, that tenacity. Leeds were brilliant, Leeds were superb. Merry Christmas, everybody. And now the challenge is, can Leeds keep this up on Boxing Day? Can Leeds United sustain that level? Because today they were dominant in possession, dominant when it came to chances. They hit the post, I think, with Chaplin just after they scored the second, but that was the outside of the post and Mele had it covered. Overall, Leeds were just dominant, as I keep saying that D word, but I'm buzzing with that. I'm ecstatic with that. Leeds, I think it was a little bit flat at the ground, because you're almost thinking, how are they second? Unbelievable. Just way more consistent for Leeds than Leeds, and I'm putting that down to the players at points and the manager just not being up for certain games, because when they're at the pomp, as we've seen this season, Leeds are just the best, arguably the best team in the division, and they were just brilliant today, and I'm really proud of them. Leeds 4, Ipswich 0. Statement performance. How are we in third and they're in seconds? But the points are clawed down to 7. Let's hope Leicester can do us a job, and then we go into the new year 4 points behind if Leeds also pick up the win on Boxing Day. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. See you in a bit. Check out the Patreon as well for some additional content we'll be doing over there. From me and the Imperial, see you in a bit.